guys, it's Ali. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm reviewing the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. So if you want to see the two shades I picked up, as well as all the tea on the product, then go ahead and keep on watching. So this product launched a couple of days ago and it does retail for £27. I ended up with two shades just because I had a little bit of issues with the shading, and I'll explain that to you guys further in just a minute. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So this is what the concealer packaging looks like. So it's basically like just this tube bottle, a little bit thicker than the tubes that I'm used to, and then it's just got, I think they called this a teardrop applicator, but I can't remember now. But this is what the applicator looks like, and it comes with 12 milliliters of product or 0.4 fluid ounces if you're in America. I've also picked up another shade. So this is the shade 19. 19 is the shade that I was matched to, but if you guys have a look at it compared to the shade 16, it does have this sort of orange pull to it, and I wasn't confident that ABH matched me correctly just because this is labeled to have peach undertones, and I don't typically go for peach. It's not really one of those undertones that's frequently around, but I'll just go ahead and show you the wand. So I was a little bit concerned that this shade wouldn't work for me, but I will demo both shades and see how we get on with both of the shades. I always start with swatches, so I'm going to go ahead and swatch the shade that I was matched to first. And this is 19. So this is the one we've got for peach undertones. And that's what the shade looks like. And this is a medium to full coverage product, so it's meant to be buildable and you can build it up to that full coverage. It is fairly thick in consistency as well. And then we've got the shade 16. So I think this one was labeled to have warm under, I don't know if it said yellow or warm or something like that. Whatever it was something that I gravitated towards, but those are the two colors next to each other. I think every colour in between these ones either had red or cool undertones, which is how I ended up at 16. So that's what it looks like. Looking at the swatches, I kind of feel like I need a mix of both of these two shades together to get the shade that I would like. I am going to swatch two of my favourite concealers for you guys, so you can compare the shades if you are a similar skin tone to myself. So I do wear 420 in the Fenty foundation. If you're not familiar with the Fenty foundation, then I do have a lot of my foundation matches in the description box down below, so you can see if we're similar skin tone if you think, just by looking, that we are. And hopefully that will help you pick a concealer that works for you. Okay, so we're going to start with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut. This one is one of my go-to concealers, so I'm going to swatch this one just underneath. So yeah, it is lighter than 19 but darker than 16, so that's why I feel like I'm in between them, if you guys can see that. And the undertone is slightly different as well. It's not so much of a peachy undertone. It's very, very similar to 19 though. Very, very similar. If 19 had a different undertone, that would be Chestnut in the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm also going to swatch the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Almond, and I'm going to go ahead and swatch that one right under here. So these are the shades that I've got. The 16 shade is looking a lot like the Too Faced Warm Sand or Cookie Concealer, if you guys have used that one or are familiar with it. It looks light, but I don't think it's too light. So I'm just blending these out with my finger. If you use a little bit of product like I've used on the 19 swatch, it does dry down a little bit. When I swatched the 16 shade, I did put a bit more product on there, so it was creamier to the touch and less powdery feeling. The 19 seemed to have dried down quite significantly in comparison. But I'll go ahead and blend the other two concealers out as well, just so we can see the shade range. They do look fairly different once swatched, but yeah, that 16 is sort of sticking out, so it might be a shade that I use when I go for a super highlighted look. Didn't even check if there was a scent. It's not a distinct scent. So there's nothing in here that they've put to make it fragrance. It's just like paint or like the Garnier micellar water. So what I think I'll do is start with 19. Yeah, this looks a little too dark for what I typically go for. It's very orange looking. So I'm just going in a little bit, and what I'm thinking is I'll just go in with 16 afterwards maybe. Yeah guys, this is, she's looking a little orange for me, a little bit. Okay, I've seen a lot of people blending this out with a brush, but I typically use sponges, so I'm gonna review it how I would use it. So we've got coverage, and it's a decent amount of coverage as well. I like that coverage. But this shade, it's sort of, I want to say it's blending into my foundation and just adding an orangey kind of tone to my foundation, or it's like an additional layer of foundation, if that makes sense. I feel like this shade is very much like a foundation shade that I would wear. Oh, but it's kind of pretty though. I think with some bronzer and everything like that, it's not bad. It's very easy to blend out. As you guys can see, I'm literally using zero effort to blend this out. And the coverage is really, really nice. Yeah, I just don't know if I'd go for the peach undertone just because of how golden my undertone already is. This just feels like, you know, I just feel like I've just added additional coverage. I don't feel like I've brightened up any of the areas, which is why I'm kind of glad I got 16. So I am gonna put a touch of 16 over this 19 shade. Yeah, so this on the face looks a bit more like what I would generally go for. I feel like this is going to give more of a highlighted effect than that 19 shade did. So far, I am really liking this concealer. I do really like that a little bit goes a very, very long way. It definitely seems like a long-lasting concealer. Yeah, this is more, you see, this is a lot more brightening. Yes. I really like the way this is looking, and I think it might be a new favorite for me. This is really, really beautiful, because you know that super highlighted look that people have. I've never been able to achieve it with the concealers that I had, and I think maybe it was because I was maybe a bit too afraid to go lighter, or I don't know what it was, but I'm looking like highlight. proper highlight. That was really easy to work with, and I'm really, really impressed. I'm gonna go ahead, finish the rest of my face and see how the product interacts with the rest of my face products, but so far it's looking really, really good. So I finished the rest of my makeup, and honestly the concealer is holding up pretty well. I do have a little bit more extra creasing than I would on a normal day. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is just a little bit more creased than it normally would be. But I don't know if I didn't put enough setting powder, so I did use the Pat McGrath under eye concealer powder thingamabob that I did use in my Pat McGrath full face video. But I do really like this product, and I think that the coverage is there. Everywhere else where I've put this product isn't looking too bad. I think for me the creasing is the main problem, but coverage, consistency, formula, absolutely love, love, love this concealer. I think it's definitely up there with one of my favorites, just because of how little work I have to put in. And I haven't used ABH products in so long. I was kind of expecting to be let down by this launch, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I am. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I think this is definitely one of those you'll either love it or you'll absolutely hate it type of products. I don't think there's an in-between. I don't know if there's like, yeah, don't know if there's a limbo for this product. I think it definitely will be a concealer that I reach for a lot more than some of my other ones. So it's kind of in my top 3 with my NARS and my Too Faced ones. So yeah, as always, if there's anything that I forgot to mention in this video, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Also drop a comment, let me know what you guys thought of this video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you are subscribed, hit the bell notification button and hit the thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you all in my next video, but for now I'm gonna go because I have places to go and people to see. So I'll see you guys in my next video.